I am so freaking disappointed. It just drives me nuts. What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, and today we're talking about The Last of Us Part 2 because it seems like they're trying to really hype this game up, I guess. So this morning I decided to wake up bright and early, I had my breakfast, I had my coffee, and I decided to sit down and watch the new Last of Us Part 2 trailer. Except for the fact that this doesn't really feel like a trailer. This feels like damage control. Okay, so over the course of the last couple weeks, obviously we're dealing with rumors of Naughty Dog mistreating their employees, all sorts of leaks, which now apparently were from hackers, and of course the game itself. I mean, if you looked at some of the stuff that came out, it just seems like this is not going to be super fantastic. But the trailer today is called The Story Trailer, and it's definitely trying its best to give some further context to show why this world is just so dark and spooky. But if I can just be real here for a second, my biggest issue right now with The Last of Us is that I feel like it's betraying the people who loved the first game. Now, I'm being serious about that. One of my subscribers said this, and I feel like they put it perfectly, but they said, the people who hate The Last of Us Part 2 are the people who loved Last of Us Part 1. How messed up is that? It seems like Sony has managed to stray so far from its base. The Naughty Dog fans who played the original game again and again, beating it on the hardest difficulty, which was called Grounded, the people who wanted to find all the collectibles and really celebrate the Naughty Dog's feel. And now we have a trailer that they knew was going to be hated. Look, as soon as they put this trailer out, they instantly disabled the dislikes, and yeah, you can see that I did dislike this video, and they turned off the comments. This trailer is not super fantastic, but more than that, you can tell that Sony, at this point, they just care about trying to sell them copies. They care about trying to minimize the damage that's already been done by the leaks. There's already some stuff like, this is Troy Baker, this is the voice actor of Joel. Now, I feel like Troy Baker in general does a pretty freaking good job. I kind of feel like this is like the Tom Cruise of the gaming voice acting industry, if you'll forgive my cringy analogy. And already, he's basically, in my opinion, this feels like an apology for the game that isn't even out. Posting this because I want to. Posting this because I believe in this team. Because I've waited 6 years to experience this story as it was intended. Because you might know, because you might think you know, but you don't. Because I'm proud of this game. Because I chose to be part of it. Because I am Joel. Well, let me tell you, Troy Baker, maybe take a step away from the computer and go play some Everybody Loves Golf. I mean, some time spent with some golf clubs might really do you some good. I guess I'm just frustrated that this trailer, I feel like what it's doing is it's really trying to convey how this world is so dark and spooky, and that maybe they're trying to make it where when the big dramatic stuff happens, they're almost trying to make an excuse for it. My thing now is I'm a huge defender of the idea of video games as art. I'm a huge supporter of the idea of that any game developer should be able to make any game they want, and any gamer should be able to critique that art. My issue is that I feel like this isn't managing to find its groove. Just from the trailers and looking at the hours of leaks, I am somebody who absolutely loves horror. I'm a huge horror aficionado. I play lots and lots of horror games. In fact, literally, right before I started filming this video, to kill time until the trailer came out, I'm even reading some horror manga. I love spooky stories so much, I'm just sitting here all day ingesting the frights. This game does not manage to capture the scares of this sort of zombie apocalypse. But simultaneously, especially now that we're getting more trailers and stuff, I don't think that they really managed to encapsulate the desperation of a good human story. The Last of Us has always been built upon the idea that of a simple concept, which is that the last people alive are the real monsters. Now, this is a classic trope. It existed for years and years and years, but the idea that the most dangerous animals in this universe aren't in fact the infected, but of course the other people that are going around. These are the ones that'll skin you alive and eat you, not necessarily the zombies themselves. And I guess my problem is that I feel like The Last of Us Part 2 is leaning so much into the drama that they're sort of losing the focus on that simple title, The Last of Us. Those who are alive are the problems and the saviors. Are we the people that can fix this world, or is the world not worth fixing? I mean, everything we're seeing in these trailers kind of conveys the fact that the world is just so screwed, absolutely nobody should even want to be a part of it. I mean, the fact that Ellie grew up in this world where it seems like everybody is a serial killer, everybody is mad, and if you set foot outside your house, you might get your face eaten by a clicker. How is this woman not already blowing her brains out? I mean, excuse the freaking imagery, but I guess one of my problems is that I feel like this game, it's lost its focus. Now, there is some people who have been starting to heavily damage control for this game, and I want to kind of just respond to them. Something I've seen a lot is you don't fully understand what's going on. Obviously, we don't have the game yet. I mean, I'll be completely honest, I've just looked at the leaks, I've played The Last of Us again recently, I started to try and go back through it, and some people have said context matters. If you're going to try and look at a book, if you're going to try and look at a film, or of course, if you're going to try and look at a game, the more details you have, the bigger the scope, the more it all makes sense. In that way, I agree. I definitely think The Last of Us Part 2 it's going to be better than these leaks look. Like, right now, of course, we don't really have the big picture. We just have some major plot points. And so, maybe this game, I'm trying to be hopeful here, maybe the game will play good. I still think that, now that I've seen so much of the plot itself, now that I've seen so many hours of the story, just through leaks and by looking at all the official stuff, I do think that it's not going to have a fun journey. I don't think that the writing is going to be great. Even if the voice acting is good, I just don't think that it's going to be able to emotionally move like the first game. But perhaps the gameplay will be great. I'm just trying to say a small good thing. Maybe somehow this game will be fun to sneak around and make improvised weapons. If I could actually try and say one thing I like about this new trailer, it looks like Ellie is fully alone. Ellie does not have any backup this time. So since she's having to play completely by herself, it's making it where I do think that it's going to be more difficult. In the first game, obviously, there was Ellie and Joel, and Ellie was controlled by AI for the most part, other than that one chapter, of course. But when you were playing as Joel, you had the ability to occasionally have her flank or help, and it was cool to try and have this, like, it almost felt like Ellie was like another weapon. She was a piece of the universe, but she was also like violent and cold in her own way. The fact that now it's going to be Ellie alone with no help, it looks like in this trailer. I mean, that's not a spoiler. Look, it's her by herself the entire time. She's not exactly cruising around the countryside with Joel or anything. I think that there is a possibility that this could have more visceral combat. This could have a chance to have faster combat, bigger blows, more sneaking, and more chances to, like, construct a glory shiv. Even if the story sucks, I am hopeful that the game itself will play good. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to buy it. Something I've actually seen people asking is, do I think that the leaks are going to hurt the sales? Absolutely, yes. I mean, unequivocally, let me just give you an official statement on that. This game is going to sell worse because of these leaks. And even now that they're trying to constantly damage control, from the Naughty Dog Twitter account to Neil Druckmann himself, everybody's trying to be like, please buy the game, please buy the game. I do think that this stuff is going to hurt it. Well, I guess these are just kind of some random off-the-cuff thoughts at 9 a.m. And thank you so much. Honestly, getting a chance to talk about my disappointments at this game is therapeutic. It's making me feel better to kind of express my sadness about this game. I was so hyped about this because it is, to me, this feels like the giant swan song of the PlayStation 4. The last major AAA thing made by Sony, but I guess we do have Ghost of Tsushima. I have already seen some people actually saying, as an active protest in a small way, they're purposely buying Ghost of Tsushima to show that they will buy a Sony game, they'll enjoy PS4 exclusives, but they want to buy something that's not trash. I kind of support this. I'll be honest, right now, I'm going to go support Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to buy it, I'm going to review it, and hopefully it doesn't suck. I'll be reviewing Last of Us Part 2 as well later this year, but I'll be honest, I'm not looking forward to it. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. What a freaking world we live in. I still just can't believe Last of Us. Naughty Dog, what happened? Why did you fire everybody? Why did everybody quit? Pay your freaking employees. Treat people right. I'm punching my TV by accident. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.